Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pre-Hospital Paradigm Podcast. I'm Scott Wildenheim. My usual crew down there at the other end of the table there. I've got Caleb Ferroni, Dr. John Hill, and returning our special guest, Brian Yankovich. Our, you collect jobs, right? So police officer, detective, SWAT operator, drone pilot, and most importantly, you're here because you're one of our local bomb techs, and we want to hear everything about the EOD and the bomb tech world and how that interfaces with the fire and EMS services. And hopefully you guys have watched the first couple of sessions. I thought they were absolutely fabulous, and we appreciate you coming back for
not a problem
for the live, my man. Special thanks to Madison Fire. We are live from Madison Fire District here in Lake County. And we had a nice full room of people, and then they caught a fire, and most everybody disappeared. We have four stragglers out there, and thank you all for joining us today. And let's kind of hop right back in for those who didn't really get through the first couple of sections. Tell us a little bit about first the team in the area, how it's comprised, when we respond, and then we'll talk a little bit about training, and then we got a couple other topics here. You brought a bunch of stuff for show and tell.
I brought some toys.
I brought some show and tell stuff, and I'd like to certainly get to that. So, tell us kind of locally about the Lake County team and who you service.
So we're based out of Mentor. We handle Lake Geauga, Ashtabula County. We have various members from various different agencies. Right now we have 5 bomb techs, 3 from Mentor, 1 from Eastlake, 1 from Paynesville, actually 4 from Mentor. 4 from Mentor.
Yeah.
Well, it will be 4.
Will be 4, yeah.
Will be 4. 1 from Eastlake and 1 from Paynesville. We have some paramedics from Concord Fire. Got a couple of UH paramedics. Mm-hmm. We have a explosive detection K9 from Geauga County. And I think that's it. Am I missing anybody?
You are not.
I am not.
Yeah. That's the team. Yep.
That's the team. Like I said, we're based out of Mentor. We respond to any incidents that we're called on. We get a lot of military ordnance calls. I brought some inert military ordnance here. I think there's a grenade floating around out there somewhere. I have a mortar around here. We respond to military ordnance calls, suspicious package calls. We'll do dignitary protection. We'll do sweeps. We will do, I believe we talked before, homemade fireworks, and just any need that comes up, make a determination whether we're going to have a positive impact or not.
When somebody needs the team, they contact Mentor Police Department.
Yes, they contact the Mentor Police Department.
How does that get triaged? Who all comes when it's determined to be a full call out? And
it'll go to the Mentor dispatch, and then they page us out through a system. It'll go to the commander, and then if he doesn't answer, it goes to the next person. We'll contact whoever's on the scene, make a determination of what they have, see if they can maybe send us pictures or whatever, and then make a determination whether the whole team comes out, or we've had instances where people are like, we have a case of dynamite, and it turns out being a case of flares.
Road flares
so
or something.
Sometimes we'll go out and check and make sure it's, we're not going to call everyone out for a case of flares.
Thank you.
And and then that's usually what happens. We'll respond out there. We'll have you guys come out, have the dog come out, and go from there.
Yeah. So one of the things we talked a lot about on the recorded session was just how much military ordnance is out there, and I think I commented, it was really eye-opening for me when I started associating with you guys. It's the stuff's out there, but like some of the stuff, we're talking about full-size artillery shell. We're not talking, okay, I get Grandpa brought a grenade home from Vietnam or something. I get that, but some of the other crazy stuff, and
we've gotten mortar rounds, 155 millimeter artillery shells. We've had they're called Mark II flares, which have washed ashore from the Canadian Navy practicing Lake Erie. Grenades, bazooka rounds, every caliber of round you can think
Yeah.
of, 20 millimeter rounds, 40 millimeter rounds. We've had 40 millimeter grenades, a Zuni rocket that was inert. Some of the stuff is inert too. So we are not allowed to, to handle military ordnance. We call the Air Force out of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, or if we have to, if they're not there, we could call Fort Drum or Fort Campbell. And then they make a determination, they respond up. They have all the military publications to go in and make, to know exactly what this fuse is and to know exactly what's in there.
That is, that's a nuance that I don't think a lot of people realize. And we had one call out where they were looking up and there was a whole list of different fuses that could be in that. And everybody would have been dead if it had been this fuse. And like, well, we can rule that out because
we're alive.
because we're alive. And there's a whole list of others. So that's a whole specialty in and of itself, which is why that's kind of left to the military, right?
Yes, it's that, and you don't know what the filler is in here. You can, we can make a guess, kind of, but you don't know if it's maybe it's a chemical munition.
Okay.
There was a Ravenna Arsenal, which is Camp Garfield now. It's a huge chemical plant. So there's people have walked away with stuff from there before. You just don't know what it is, and so they have all the training in that. Their EOD school, I believe, it's over 50 weeks. I don't remember if it's 52 or 56.
Crazy.
And there's just a small portion of that is on improvised explosive devices. The rest is all kind of divided up into different munitions like rockets, propellants, bombs, and everything else. So that's why they have the expertise to handle that.
And that's assuming it's in this configuration. But if somebody had taken this and then tried to manipulate it and turn it truly into an IED, is that something that's still that the military?
So if they manipulate it, like if the grenade that we have back there is manipulated, or someone tries to improvise a detonator on it, then it becomes us more than them. We could all call them for advice. We can call them. We can call the civil support team, which is a military unit based out of Columbus, and they can help us out. They'll always help us out and give us any type of information that we don't have. But anything that's just like that is their responsibility.
I think that was another thing we commented on in the recorded session, is just how freely information flows between teams, whether it's ideas for new ways to defeat something, or whether it is this hazard or this. There's seems like there's always some new publication or something.
The bomb squad community in general is very small. There's not a lot of bomb techs. There's probably 70 for Ohio, and it's very small. So we share information. And the same basic IED school that we have, which is ours, it's 6 weeks. It's a week at your home station, then 6 weeks in Huntsville, Alabama. It's the same basic concepts as the military one.
Yeah.
So we train with the military. Usually once a year we go to Ravens Challenge, which is a government-funded training. It's usually 4 different places across the country, just so everyone gets a chance to go and play. And you get put on a military bomb squad for a week, and we run teams. We've run them with the Air Force twice, the Marine Corps, and then last year we were in West Virginia with the the Canadian Army, and it was a lot of fun. And you're just literally running bomb calls all day long.
All day long.
And you would never know that any of us were never, we didn't know each other, but you see us on our first call, and everyone works the same.
That builds to a kind of a great point. Tell us a little bit about that training and hazardous device school and what that looks like. Why everybody is able to work so fluently together.
So every bomb tech is a hazmat tech too. We all have to go to hazmat school. Some go to Alabama. I went to Luperzall in Painesville, which was an awesome hazmat school.
Of course.
Being the only cop in a hazmat school is also very, very interesting. So, and then you go down to, it's usually, right now, it's a 22-month wait or 24-month wait to go to hazardous devices school, which is run by the FBI. It's in Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. It's 6 weeks long. So your first week, it's actually 7 weeks long now. The first week is just PowerPoint, and you're doing that at your home department. That way you can go and get through that. And through that whole PowerPoint, there's tests embedded in the PowerPoint. Of
course.
And then when you get down there for your first day in the 6 weeks, there's another test to make sure that you
that you actually did it. Yeah.
That you did it.
Yeah.
And you paid attention. And another test they actually have when you first go down there too is they put you in a bomb suit and an SCBA right away to make sure you're not claustrophobic.
That would
So,
that
yeah.
would clearly be an immediate fail.
And then, so you're down there for 6 weeks, several different tests and everything. It's an amazing school. One of my scenarios I always talk about is there was a bomb on an Amtrak train at an Amtrak station, and there's no like administrative to pretend this is an Amtrak station. No, there are big, huge rail cars, Amtrak cars down there, and at a train station. There's a 3 or 4 story apartment building with a parking garage next to it, and they're furnished too. So it's as real as
you can make it. Yeah.
Yes.
What's the retention rate for this class? Like, if you go down, is it like always 100%?
Not always, but it's part of the reason the wait is so long is to make sure that we train our people before we go down pretty well, so they're up to speed. Is to make sure you fit and that you can do this. Mm-hmm. It's very expensive to send people down there. We don't pay for it. The government, for your first initial class, the government covers the cost of the class, but the initial agency has to cover the per diem and your room and board. And it's fairly high because they want you to pass. They have a large investment into you. And like that wait, every time you fill somebody out, it's just the wait's longer and longer. It's not like you can just put somebody in like on week 2, day 1,
right,
and insert them in.
Well, I think it's comforting knowing that the bomb techs aren't repeat failures. Like, you go and you get trained and then you're a bomb tech.
Well, after you do that, you have to go back every 3 years for recertification too, and if you can't pass it there, you get sent home.
Yeah. Huh.
So I was down there, and it does happen. I was down there in beginning of October. I was down there for a different class, but they had a basic class down there, and somebody failed the test on Friday and failed the test on Monday, and they sent them home. So
Then it's a start over from the beginning at that point?
then they I believe the rule is now is that you can go back to your home base and study up, and you can come back in 6 months to retake it. But I don't know if anyone's ever done that. So, but that's basically the training. There's more advanced training too. Once you become a bomb tech, there's different segments. There's stabilization, which is basically WMD component of it. There is maritime bomb tech, tactical bomb tech. There are homemade explosives classes from both the FBI and ATF that you can go to. There are advanced disposal classes you can go to. Evidence collection classes, post-blast certification classes. So if there ever is a detonation around here, there's 4 or 5 of us, plus our federal partners that can come out and collect evidence and take care of that.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk a little bit about the federal interaction here with the FBI and the ATF. And I guess let's start with the FBI and the FBI's involvement in all this.
So the FBI kind of coordinates the bomb squads for across the country. They control our target staffing levels. They control how many bomb techs we can have. We can only have 5 bomb techs. We can't have any more than that right now at this current time. We can have as much support staff as we want, but we can only have 5 bomb techs. We have a couple agents in Cleveland, Akron, and Youngstown that are bomb techs that come out and they can support us. They're on our call-out list. The ATF also has a bomb tech up here. He's out of the Cleveland office, and he's on our call-out list too. And if we ever need help, they come out. They come out when we need help to support us, because every call-out has to have at least 2 bomb techs. Have to go on every call-out, and there's only 5 of us. Like right now, one of us is out of town. We have another guy hurt. I'm here, so there's only 2 left. So if something happens, they'll go out and take care of it.
I feel like the relationship's fluid too. Like, you guys,
we all get along. We work really well with the other bomb squads across the area, with Cleveland, with Youngstown. There's a couple more teams in Cuyahoga County, Akron, Canton. We all have trained together. We all know each other. So if we ever need help, someone's going to come.
Yeah.
So it's not really that huge of a deal, but it's kind of nice to I kind of like handling our own area. So
one of the things we didn't talk about is when we kind of got into the configuration of the local team here. Obviously, most of as you described it, most of the techs were police officers. That doesn't necessarily need to be the case. There are teams that are completely sponsored by and run by fire departments.
Correct.
So that's not an absolute.
Yes. There's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the coverage area here, it's not just for Lake County, even though you identify as Lake County Bomb Squad. That coverage includes 2 surrounding counties.
Yeah, it includes Ashtabula and Geauga, and it includes all the water on Lake Erie and Lake in Ashtabula County all the way out to the Canadian border. So if we need help out there, we can go out there and confiscate someone's boat to go out there and handle what we need out there. But yes, there's a lot of working together with all the teams around here.
So you said there's like probably about 70 bomb techs in Ohio. Do they all have that big of a footprint, or does that vary?
No, it varies. Some teams might only have a couple cities. There's only one full-time bomb squad in Ohio. I'm pretty sure it's only the only one. It's Columbus Fire.
Yep.
They handle like a couple counties down in southern Ohio. There it's all firemen. Cincinnati's got an all-fire team. And I know there's a couple more county teams, but it just varies. Some are just, like Cleveland's just Cleveland.
Yep.
But if we need help, which we've had, some incidents where we need some additional equipment, like they've come out and help us,
Yeah.
and we'll help them.
How is the number 5 dictated? Like, why are you only allowed 5?
It's based off of call volume and needs, and there's a national advisory board that decides what they'll go over and say. If we submitted a target staffing level increase, they go over and have a meeting, decide, look at their call volume, look at their area, look at the needs, retirements, stuff like that, and then base their decision off
Yeah,
of
so there's
that.
a lot of thought in that number. It's not
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
not
hey,
just like, hey, yeah, they can have 4 or 5. So
Yeah, I imagine you don't want a team of 20 guys that all have no experience because
Correct.
they're catching one job every 2 years.
yes,
So you need to kind of balance that out. So
Yeah, not to mention
everybody
the-
stays sharp.
yes.
monetary value in it, like we just talked about.
Oh yeah,
that's-
somebody's paying for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the suits and all the equipment's expensive a lot of the
Oh,
time.
hey, you were
Right?
talking, how much is a suit now?
I believe the new suits are around $45,000 a piece.
Yeah, not 4,500, 45,000
$45,000
a piece, which
And
is, and then I'm sure they have an expiration.
Yes, I don't know what it is off the top
But
of
they're
my head.
not guaranteed to stop anything, right?
Well, it's. I get where they're the company. I get where they're coming from. The company's not just going to come out and say it's going to. It's not like a bulletproof vest. We're like, hey, it's going to stop a 38 no matter what. There's so many different variables with explosives that I understand where they're coming from. I've never seen any type of like guarantee that they say this is going to do this. I've never seen it. Maybe it's out there and I just don't know. But there's so many different variables. If we do like that stick of dynamite, if we set it off in here, it's going to have a lot more blast pressure than if we just set it off in the parking lot, because all the blast wave it's going to blow out all these windows, which will actually kind of help us because some of the pressure will go out. But it's going to go in these corners and bounce around, and we're going to get hit the first time. It's going to come back, bounce around, multiply, and hit us again. So it's hard for them just to say, yes, they'll protect you from a stick of dynamite, because there's just so many different variables that could happen.
Yeah, maybe in an open field, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like-
it's all just, and I get it.
Case depending.
It's all case dependent on what you're going to do, and situation dependent. And there's situations where we're not going to use a bomb suit. If it's a stick of dynamite, yeah, I'm going to wear a bomb suit. If it's a car bomb, I'm not going to wear a bomb suit, because it's just going to hinder my ability. And if a car bomb goes off, it's not going to do anything for me anyway.
Yeah.
So
So why have paramedics on your team? What good are they if?
what good are they?
You needed to phrase that completely different.
It's a leading
You did
question.
not lean
So-
into that well.
No. So dehydration, slip and falls.
Slip and fall. Broken fingernails.
Pulled a hammy.
Yeah, there's.
Somebody
trying to justify
in this
her
room got glued very
I
recently.
did get. I cut my hand. I got a little. Actually, you did a pretty good job. That's actually right there. So we have paramedics. They take our vitals before we go in the bomb suits, and take our vitals when we go out. In between, if we go down and take an X-ray, we'll come back and take the bomb suit off, get a little air. Usually they'll
X-rating the bombs, yeah.
X-raying the bomb. They'll come back and we'll take our vitals to make sure that we're not going to go down there and pass out or anything like that. If something does go wrong, it's nice to have people there. I think we talked before how it's nice to know that you guys are there, because it just takes a stressor off of me. Those bomb suits, trauma shears are not going to cut through those bomb suits. You're not going to get them cut off. Where you guys know how to get them off of us very quickly. So that helps out too. It's just another stressor that's taken out of my life, so I can concentrate on or the bomb tech can concentrate on what they need to do, and not have that in the back of their minds. And I've known a couple calls. You guys have moved helicopters and stuff like that, because there's been a couple. Thank God they didn't go bad, but they
Yeah,
could have
incredibly high risk scenario.
And it is, I mean, we obviously, it was kind of a joke question, but I mean, we have copies of your previous EKGs that we
Yes.
can verify. We have your vent settings already.
Already mapped out, yeah.
Yeah, it's
There
nice.
is a lot of
And-
pre-thought into it.
And whether we like to admit it or not, most of the makeup of the team is a bunch of middle-aged dudes, right?
Yeah.
So, there's all of the cardiac risk factors and all of the things that,
Yeah. And
we
it's-
don't want to talk about, but
And it's-
have
it's-
to acknowledge.
Yeah, it's stressful being in there, especially when it's hot. It's just, you're in there for maybe 30, 40 minutes on a summer day, and all you're thinking about is getting out of the suit. And, dehydration, we're a bunch of cops. I'm like, I don't know.
Coffee and donuts.
Do you feel dehydrated? I'm like, I don't know. Sure, I'm gonna drink some water. But like,
Give me my Zen.
yeah. In the past, we haven't had. Sometimes we didn't have paramedics available, and there were sometimes I really wish we had them because we could have used them. And I know I've been dehydrated, and it's nice to know that like you can just give us an IV or remind us when we have our mind on 20 different things to like before we go in the suit to chug a water and chug a Gatorade before we go in to kind of prehydrate us.
Do you guys talk about like prehabbing and rehab when you go in and out of those suits at all? Because that's something like fire does all the time for like working fires, and they set up rehab. Do you guys have like set up protocols for rehab for?
Functionally, yes. Is it talked about in said terms with the whole team? No. I mean, again, there's so few medics that all know their job intimately well on this, in this particular setting. No. Is it being done practically? Yes, it's practically being done, right?
I mean, because recommendations are like one SCBA bottle or 20 minutes of hard work, which if you're in that for 20 minutes, you need to then take a 20 minute break.
Yeah.
At least a bottle of water, if not a bottle of electrolytes like Gatorade, stuff like that.
I think the one benefit to that is that you're exactly right, but there's really no hurry in your case. Like this is a slow
Yes.
down, and there might be two of you, so one of you is going to get beat up in the suit for a while. So slow down. And the one thing I think that you've said before that I like what you said, like whoever found this, if it's in water, it likes its environment. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. Let you guys come in and deal with it. So
There's very few call-outs where we're going to be in a hurry, and that's only if it's like, the Erie collar bomber kind of situation where there's a bomb on a person. Then we're going to go down and be like the movies and start cutting wires and stuff like that. Any other situation we have, as long as people are evacuated and no one's really in danger, we kind of have time on our hands. We can go down and make a good decision, come up with a good plan. Hydrate. You guys remind us to hydrate, thank God, and do it the safest way possible. Go down with robots. If we don't have to put a bomb suit on, we'll go down with robots. Maybe we'll take a drone down and see the best approach and make a good decision so we can do it efficiently, safely, and just use the best approach we possibly can to keep everybody safe.
Let's talk a little bit more about those tools. You kind of touched on. We touched on X-ray. We touched on. You kind of threw out the robot thing. Tell us a little bit about the robots and some of their capabilities. I have to, from what I've observed, I think we're kind of well equipped in the fact that we have 3 different robots.
Yes.
And I don't think that's common. So talk a little bit.
So we have 3 robots. We have two large, one very large
One
robot.
very large, yes.
It's about 900 pounds. It's used. It can basically do anything I can do. The bigger robot too can pull me in a bomb suit. Say I get hurt. There's a handle on there where you can grab the robot and pull me out of danger, so you guys can come and save me. And poke
Hey,
at
you
me.
okay?
The other robot's a little bit smaller. It's about 450 pounds, 500 pounds. It's made so it can actually go down. You can take the wheels off and just have the tracks, and you go down to the middle of a jet on it, a passenger jet. They both have 2 12-gauge shotgun barrels on them, so we can open up packages with water and put different shots in there to get the results we want. You can put any type of instruments on them. They have 2-way communications. We can put hazmat instruments on them. We can put radiological instruments on them. We can put 5 gas meters on them. They have multiple cameras. The third robot we have is a smaller little recon bot. It's about, 50 pounds. But you can go underneath cars, go up steps. Most of the robots can go up steps. The bigger one will crush steps. It won't really go up steps that well. But you can get around and do anything we can do, and we use them all just to keep us safer, and we can do it remotely.
I think probably the slickest thing that I've seen on with their use of robots on the team is, two of our colleagues pulled a pressure vessel, or what was suspected to be a pressure vessel, out in the middle of the road with the robot, and then one held it with one robot and the other twisted the cap off to make it not a bomb in the middle of the road, and that was just absolutely a slick maneuver on those guys, on their behalf.
Some of the military teams we've trained with now have even more advanced robots. We don't have the government's budget,
Yeah,
fortunately. And I've seen one that has like a hand that you can just like move your hand like this, and the hand of the robot will just come out and grab whatever you're doing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And manipulate whatever you're doing. It's really neat to see the new technology.
I do like the fact that you guys know them so well too. Like I remember one training that I went to with you guys, and it was like, today we're going to take the robot apart, rebuild it. It's like, why? And then I got scolded a little bit about like, we need to know this thing inside and out. It's like, this makes sense.
A couple of us went to a robot maintenance school, and the way that they built the robot, it's really built by Northrop Grumman. It's Remote Tech, which is owned by Northrop Grumman, but they built it like a lot of the circuit boards are all just kind of integrated. There's just a big circuit board, so if something's broken, they'd be like, well, look at board 3, look at the flashing light. Is it flashing? No, okay, well, we'll take it out and we'll send you a new board, and just pop it in there. So they made it pretty easy to do that, but there's a lot of strain on the robots. We have to take the motors apart and grease them and make sure everything's functioning properly. Because if it's something the robot can go down on and it's broke, well, that doesn't really help us. And I have to put a suit on and go down and do it. So usually in the winter months, instead of going out and getting rid of dynamite or ammunition or whatever we have to do, we'll take the robots apart and grease them.
It's also fascinating that you guys can look at an X-rayed image and through opacity determine what's there and what's not there. It's like a physician. I mean, it really is like a physician looking at a body. But I've seen you guys do some amazing things looking at these pictures, adjusting, angles and stuff. It's like, that is so cool.
The X-ray technology, the software used is created from the government by Sandia National Labs, and it gets updated all the time. And they're pretty good about critiquing their software and fixing it pretty quickly. And it's the same software everyone has access to, and there's been a lot of practice in doing that. You just don't X-ray something and be like, oh yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
That's that.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just that you need to know what's in this, but like you guys, I mean, that's a whole nother side of this that you're learning, and it's like that's a lot of learning to make that picture look the way
like
you just
have to
did.
look at the X-ray, and if it's a circuit, kind of see what's going on with the circuit and what the best approach would be to open the package up remotely, and how you're going to do it with maybe without having it go off anywhere. So there's been a lot of practice. There's a lot of X-ray interpretation. I could say that you think we're good at it. I mean, you could always be better at it. That's one thing that is a diminishing skill. You kind of need to go and see things from different angles, because this iPhone, if it's like this, you're like, oh, it's an iPhone. If it's like this, well, you can't really tell what it is. It's kind of hard. So that's just an evolving thing that you got to keep up with training.
And speak a little bit to the advancements in that X-ray that has come to the team here.
It's digital.
This is awesome.
We have digital X-rays now. It's just a panel that you can put down, and it comes on a mesh system. We can take X-rays from really far away now, and it's just a touch of a button. It comes to a phone or an iPad, a tablet, and you can see exactly what's going on.
But not only that, you can transmit that to somebody else, maybe even, and they can determine
as long as someone has one of the phones in his hand. It's not just any phone,
which is good.
It's got which is good. It's got to be a proprietary phone, because they got to make their money. And so it's good in that sense too, because I can have other teammates look at the X-ray. Maybe I'm down X-raying, or someone else is X-raying a package, and I have a tablet. I can come and see it pop up on my tablet and make a determination of what's going on. But it's awesome technology since when I started in 2009, 2010 to now. It's just unbelievable what has been developed.
Let's talk about a bomb tech's favorite subject: fireworks. Fireworks.
Yeah.
What's the why is that everybody's favorite subject, and honestly the thing that scares people the most?
There's a lot of bomb techs. Well, I know a lot of bomb techs hate fireworks. There's at least probably, I know myself and the captain do not like fireworks. Homemade fireworks, when people are making them, I don't know what's in them, which is scary. I don't know the mixture you make. If you go buy fireworks at FAM Fireworks or something like that, at least we kind of know
It's
the
a-
limits
yeah,
of
it's
the
a known,
powders that's
right.
going to be in there, limits of everything else. If it's, like I said, if it's in this tumbler, I know that if it's a consumer firework, there's only so much flash powder that's going to be in this tumbler.
Right.
If I find this in Scott's house and there's a bunch of powder around, I don't know if this thing is filled with powder or what. And then furthermore, I don't know what chemicals are in there. I don't know if you made it so that the powder's shock sensitive. So me walking past it and having the air go over it and a little static is going to set it off. And it's just, there's just so many different variables that we just don't know. It's just an unknown, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. The homemade things seem to be the biggest.
And it's never like this clean lab, but like they all have it set out. It's
No, I mean, there was
it's
a-
just like a hoarder house, and there's a
There
pile
was
of
one
powder over
recently.
there.
Yeah.
Well, you and I were on one not
the
too
big
long
event.
ago where
Yeah.
we filled out how many cars full of fireworks that needed disposed of. It was,
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that was what, almost 2 years ago.
was
Oh,
it?
that was 2 years
That
ago.
was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until recently they finally all went away.
Yeah, fireworks.
That was that whole batch, wasn't it? That
Yes, that was that batch. We've gotten so many fireworks
Right.
that I don't even know. They're all marked at least. But yeah, there's a lot of fireworks. We just collect fireworks all the time. So I just don't like them.
So, in the situation of first responders, what are kind of some like do's and don'ts, right? So we have the fire department, they come upon something, EMS comes upon something. What are some best practices? What should be some thoughts going through their head? How can we be helpful? And then of course how can we be hurtful?
If somebody called in something and it's already just sitting there, just leave it alone.
Don't poke it with a stick.
Don't poke it with a
Throw
stick.
Bring it
water on
outside.
I've had people kick them. I've had people I've had people actually bring in like, I know I should have brought a rifle grenade. I had someone bring in a rifle grenade. This was actually a citizen. And they always do this. They always put like some newspaper on top of it, or like a paper towel. Like, hey,
Out of sight, out of mind.
yeah, I can't see it. The paper towel is going to stop it. But if it's happy where it's at, we've said it before. If it's happy where it's at, just leave it where it's at. Like, if it's in the middle of somewhere and no one's around it and no one's going to get hurt, there is absolutely no reason that you need to go up there and take a picture of it.
Do you think people don't report something like that 9 times out of 10 because they're afraid of getting in trouble to report it? Like, I don't
could.
understand the big holdup because I do feel like a lot of times it's us accidentally finding them on a fire scene or something. It's like, oh, call
We've
somebody.
had a lot of people. We do get a lot of phone calls from like, hey, a family member passed away. We have this grenade. We don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so we'll come out and look at that and make a determination what we're gonna do with that. And like, you don't get in trouble for that. Like it's nothing. Or a piece of ordnance. You don't know what that.
Grandpa was
Grandpa had
hoarding
his-
blasting caps.
Hoarding, we've had that. We've had, people have it in barns. They just bought a house. They're looking in the barn. That's happened a lot of times too.
yeah.
And there's an artillery shell behind this chest that we found back there.
Case of dynamite for
We've
stumps.
we've had that too. We've had people call up and be like, "Hey, how do I renew my blasting permit?" I'm like, well, we haven't done that since the '80s. So, what do you have? And no one's getting in trouble from that. If you're like, "Hey, I just stole like 10 blocks of C4," and you probably get talked to about that. But yeah, we're not out to like trying to do that. Our job as bomb techs is just to make things as safe as possible, to keep everybody safe. But if you show up on something and this is in a field, they're just sitting there, or even in a house and the house is evacuated, just leave it there. You don't need to bring it out to me and show it to me at the truck. Just leave it there. And then the other,
Put my bulletproof vest on it.
yes, I've had people,
Put my body armor on it.
People have done that before, and I know that they have good intentions.
No,
but
of course.
They put a body armor on a grenade or something like that. Well, then I can't see what kind of fuse it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just turned the time fuse. Maybe it's a time activated fuse or something. I don't know if you just messed with it. I don't know if there's the pins in the grenade. So we just tell people, just leave it alone. Just leave it there. I don't care if you don't have a picture. If you don't have a picture of it, we have 3 robots and can get a bunch of drones to go down and take a look at it. There's no reason to risk yourself. The other thing I tell people too is if you can see the item, whether it's a grenade, suspicious package, whatever it is, it can see you too. So that way, if it goes off, it can come out and
That's a
reach
good
out to
point.
you too. So you don't need to be sitting there with a pair of binoculars being like, "Oh, it's right there. It hasn't moved." Well, it's probably not going to move. So just go someplace safe, and then let us come and use our technology and our robots or drones and everything else to do it safely. Where if it does go up and it blows up the drone or blows up the robot, oh well, who cares?
And if you do find something, let's talk about using radios and stuff kind of
Yes.
near field to it.
Yes, I actually brought my little light for demonstration
That was
this time.
that was my setup for you.
Thanks. So a lot of improvised detonators and some detonators, we always tell police officers and firemen, don't turn your radio off when you go up by something because it sets off. It can set it off with RF. Actually, body cameras now.
Oh,
they
good.
have done
Fair
some-
point. Sure.
Have some reach back because your body cameras are usually reaching back, at least the ones that we have, are reaching back to the cars
Sure. There's RF going back to the.
to connect to each other. But I'll do a little demonstration with my light. Let me make sure I'm on a radio channel that's not being used.
Well, body cameras also have GPS in them, which is more receive than send, but
Some of them have GPS and some of them, as far as I know, don't. But this should.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is lightening up. And improvised detonators, a lot of them have Christmas tree light bulbs in them, and this will definitely light up a Christmas tree light bulb pretty easily. And this is the same radio that I know most of Lake County is using right now. So that's why we don't want you to have radios up there.
Yep.
And every time there's like a suspicious package or something like that, like everyone.
Put that back in your primary channel. You'd be talking to yourself.
Yeah. So every time there's a suspicious package or something, and like it's like every chief, everybody needs to go. Everyone's go take a look at it. Well, no, just leave it alone, and we'll come and take a look at it safely.
The package says,
Yes, yes.
If you do happen upon it, while you're there, worthwhile taking a picture. I mean, don't go back down on
Yes,
it
I mean,
or
people
anything.
have come up and we've gotten pictures of stuff. If it's done safely, yes. If you're not, we don't want, not even expect. Don't go down and go take a picture just because you want us to have a picture. There's absolutely no reason to do that. We can go to, like I said, we have all this robots and everything else to go do it remotely, and we can do it now. We can look at it from binoculars. I don't need to see a picture. And the other thing is, I should say too, is like if it's not a first responder that found it, if it's some person, try to keep them there
Yeah.
until we get there so we can talk to them or have.
Get the story, right?
Yeah, because I'd like to know, like, well, hey, this is my grandfather's. We found it in the barn, and then they walk away. Well, what did your grandfather do in the military? Was he in the chemical warfare unit?
Right.
Like, that's stuff I'd like to know.
Yeah, was he a cook or was he?
Yeah.
I got questions.
Yeah. So.
do you guys have questions?
They're all quiet.
I tell you what. Well, let's look at a couple of things that you brought us here. There was a grenade. A grenade ran off.
Should make them come all the way in front of the camera.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
should.
So, it seems like we had a little bit of downturn in it, but it seemed like we were going, every other month on a grenade for a period of time there. When you find these grenades, should anybody spend time trying to figure out if these are live,
Nope.
if they're inert, if they're,
Nope.
is it a dummy grenade? Is it, is it paperweight?
I wouldn't. No.
Yeah.
No. If it's just sitting there like this, just call us.
I distinctly remember another first responder telling us, well, we think it's this because we looked it up online and it's got a blue spoon and it's got this and it's got that.
If we find this,
That
we're gonna call the military
Yeah.
anyway, and describe what they have to them. And there's markings that they can tell on this and help us out. We'll take an X-ray of it.
Yeah,
If we can do it safely, we'll take an X-ray of it to see what it looks like, and go there. But there's no reason. I mean, grenades are only made for one thing.
Exactly.
Grenades are made to kill people. So don't play with things that are made to kill people. So, that's kind of a rule in my book.
It should be a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And then what else do we?
I brought a non-blasting cap. So this is basically a blasting cap on the back, and it has plastic tube that is filled with an explosive powder, so we can set these off non-electrically, either with a spark, or sometimes we'll use a primer, and it shoots just a, you can see the spark in the high-speed video,
Yeah,
go
right.
down. Go down, and it hits the explosive on the end of this, and then we'll set off. If we had this in that dynamite, it would set it off. And then Caleb has a electric blasting cap in it, and it's this is all inert stuff up here. So this has all been inert.
Yeah,
There's nothing in
okay.
here. These were all verified by the military who took them apart, so we're not even worried about that. This is inert blasting cap, and this is just an electric blasting cap. It's the same concept as this, but it has 2 electric wires on the end of it, and it's leaking out all the sawdust in this fake piece of dynamite.
Sawdust.
Yeah. And you can set off electrically. We use remote firing devices. We can do it even farther away, or you can actually tie in a large piece of line and set it off.
Long wire and do it.
But like, again, these are just like that Christmas tree light bulb. This is, you see stuff like this. It's just an antenna waiting to get RF signal.
Put to it, yeah.
And set off.
Now, obviously I know the answer to this, but you're not often using dynamite proper to get rid of other things. You usually use plastic explosives, military type plastic explosives.
To countercharge things, we have a variety of different explosives that we use. We can use dynamite, we can use C4, we use cast boosters, we use sheet explosive,
sheet, yeah.
we use ammonium nitrate with different fillers with it, or different mixes with it. We do that. It just depends what the situation. We have shape charges that we can use. We have linear shape charges. We have oil perforators. It just depends what it is that we want to get rid of and how we want to get rid of it.
Yeah, and those are super stable, which
Yes.
yeah, you actually need those to set it off.
Yes.
Like you said, you can hit it with a hammer, you can light it on fire.
There's like C4s.
Yeah.
Everything we use is stable. It's used
Real
in
stable.
either the military or in the mining industry. And that way we have our that's our set constant. We know that this is going to go off and it's going to do this. We use deck cord a lot, and just that is our stable to set off what we need to do. And I think we touched that the last time. Like, our range is in eastern Lake County, and that's where we set stuff off. We really try to be respectful for everyone around there, but sometimes things are loud. I know that they've heard stuff in Madison before, so sorry. We try to be respectful. We try to even if the weather conditions, if it's a low ceiling, we try to not set things off unless it's an emergency. Sometimes we have to set things off because we don't have a choice.
That's a great point. Is going into this is often not a hurry up thing. Sometimes you're choosing the date, the time. You're getting the team. You're bringing the people in because we could you could store it for a period of time safely, and then take care of it in a very methodical and organized fashion rather than, but there are those things, well, I mean, that whole bucket of blasting caps that was in that guy's garage, right?
Yes. And
that can't hang around.
And usually, especially in this part of the county, there's a farmer's field close by, and that's what we did when we found the bucket of blasting caps in they found the bucket of blasting caps in someone's garage. And once again, they put it in water and moved it outside.
Did all of the things you shouldn't do, right?
Don't do that. Just leave it. If you ever find it, just leave it where it's at.
Moving.
Yeah,
It's a happy little bush.
Yeah. We talked about the last time the guy that, like I said, I'm not trying to pick on people, but like they moved it out by a propane tank. I'm like, no, you just made the problem harder for me. But we did that, and we were lucky enough to have a farmer's field right down the way. We got permission, dug a hole in this field, and blew it up there. We've done that in several different places in Jog County, Ashtabula County. It's nice to have that option. So, and anything really big, we've used quarries in the area who've been awesome. And then, like when we had that 155 millimeter shell, we had to coordinate with the Air Force to have them up there, and that's just not something that, there's a lot of planning in that, and we're just not like putting it on top of the ground and be like hee and throwing a bunch of C4 on it
because we can.
See how loud it is. No, we bury it. There's calculations for frag distances, for PSI distances, and trying to keep vertical frag, horizontal frag, and stuff, so we can keep it safe and not have to injure people and everything else. And I know we've talked about before. Some of these things are pretty pretty loud. Well, there's no really quiet way to get rid of a
bomb.
Get rid of a 155 millimeter shell, but we try to do it the best way possible. and
Do you
really
have to
respect it.
coordinate clearing airspace for that also?
We can. We haven't yet. Just because if it's buried, there's different ways that you can do it. But I mean, if we had to, we could we could call the FAA and get a TFR up for that.
Gotcha.
I think the other thing that has been remarkable to me is just the amount. This is not knee jerk. This is not seat of your pants kind of stuff. There's charts for charts for charts.
yeah.
Somebody has done the
Yes.
math on this 100 times over. It's remarkable the amount of information that you can pull and subsequently need to consider when you have X, Y, or Z device.
Yeah, we were talking about the FBI earlier, and the good part about having all these federal partners is they have a lot of very, very smart people on the backside. Any tool or piece of software or chart or anything that we use has been developed by people who are much, 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 much smarter than me, who have tested this and over and over, these PhD chemists and scientists that keep on testing these things to develop and say, yes, this is the safe way to do it.
Right.
And that helps us out a lot too, and we have explained to different departments too. If I go down and I do something and I use the tried and true practices that the government has taught me, and it goes off and something goes awry, well, we went by the book and this is
Yeah,
what we did.
right.
Whereas if an agency doesn't call us and they try to get rid of themselves, well, and it goes off, well, now you just assumed all the liability.
All liability, yeah.
So that's why we always say it's just better to call us and figure it out, because we could call the FBI and have backside support with chemists and everything else in a matter of minutes, which would really help us out.
We got a couple of online questions here. I think we kind of already answered this, but if somebody's just tuning in, the question is, what kind of protection does the bomb suit provide? And like I said, that's highly variable.
Highly variable. It just depends on the situation, depends on the blast pressures, depends on a lot of things too. And depends if you're, oh, here's the helmet.
Let's say one of the things that we kind of talked about the suit, and we have part of the suit here, which is the helmet. And here, let's turn this like 90 degrees of the camera so they can see how thick that blast shield is on the visor.
I think you said the whole suit too is like 80 pounds, right? And
So the
that's
whole
minus an
suit's
SCBA.
That's the whole suit's about 80 pounds. If there's any type of maybe a chemical or biological component on it, we'll put a hazmat suit on underneath, and then the suit on, and then put an SCBA on top of it. And then if it's really hot out, we have a cooling vest, which is just a bunch of
Added
Cold
weight.
packs. Yeah.
cold packs. And it cools you down. It does work, but it's, an extra 10, 15 pounds too on you.
Some of the things on here, it's got headlights on it.
It's got lights.
Yep.
This is one of the old. This is an EOD9. It's a little bit one of the older model. It's got headlights on it. It's got fans in the back. The fans in the back kind of cool you down, but basically what they do is just keeping the visor
Keep on.
from fogging up. The controls are on the wrist if you ever see it, and it controls the fans. There's turbo fan that helps keep you cooler a little bit, but that's about it.
That's about it. All right. And let's see. Here's another one from Fire Guy. If we suspect there is an explosive device,
Fire guy,
yeah,
hero.
a novel. If we suspect there's an explosive device, how far back should fire and EMS set up as a safety zone?
So that's a good question. We usually try to stay at least 300 feet back, but if it's it's actually a situational dependent question.
Sure, of
If you think it's a huge suitcase full of dynamite or something, you should be as far back as you possibly be. There's charts that the ATF has. I know we send them out to a lot of police and fire departments. We'll say what the standoff distances are. If not, you can go online and Google them. I think both the FBI have charts which will give you, hey, it's a briefcase, you should be at least this far back. If it's a car bomb, this is how far you should be back. If it's a semi, this is how far you should be back. If it's a backpack, you should be at least this far back. And if people have questions about how to get those, like some of the first responders, they can always reach out to me, and I'll coordinate and try to get them those charts. I don't have them off the top of my head, but you can get them off of Google too.
Kind of the further the better, right?
Yes, the further the better, and that's the same way with evacuating people. I'm sure everybody knows. It's very hard to expand a evacuation zone once you've already set up the initial one.
Yeah.
So we try to go as far back as we can.
All right, that's awesome. Any questions from you guys? Still nothing. All right. All right. What other things does the team do outside of the explosive realm? I mean, you've got a bunch of real specialized tools. Do you have to get to use them anywhere else, or?
I've X-rayed cars before for narcotics. I've X-rayed. What else have I X-rayed? Cars for narcotics. I've X-rayed just a couple things. We've actually had we've been called by a couple local companies that had some large propane tanks that were rusted shut that they found in a warehouse, and we've used shape charge to get rid of those. I'm trying to think of anything else off the top of my head that we've done that's
Does
specialized.
X-ray help with like identifying filled propane tanks or any like gases under pressure that would liquefy? Like, do you?
If you can, yes. In X-rays, like this, my tumbler, you can see if I took an X-ray right now, you can see the
Air fluid level.
You can see the fluid level on it. So that helps with stuff like that. Same thing with powders. You can tell where the powder line is in it, just by the different densities and different colors.
Tell us a little bit about the equipment, the hardware, specifically the TCV, the single vent, the other things that are kind of synonymous with, the image that gets conjured up when you think of bomb squad or bomb tech is obviously the suit and then the truck.
We have two large trucks, a command vehicle, and then we have the total containment vessel, which people have probably seen us driving, the big black ball in the back of the truck. That will contain it will contain up to a blast of 15 pounds of C4, which is a lot. Every block of C4 is 1.25 pounds, so you can kind of see how much it can do. It can also do a chemical biological, chemical biological we put in there, and you could actually close the port caps and countercharge it in there and take a sample of it, and the sample comes in a bottle. We give it to the federal partners, and they can give it to their scientists and figure out what's in it.
And buy us a new TCV.
Yes, and buy us a new TCV. And then we have a single vent trailer, which it's another big red bomb trailer. It's basically the same thing as the TCV, but it's a little bit different where the way it's made is if something goes off, the blast is going to go straight up in the air. Straight up in the air. And if
I think that's another synonymous thing is the trailer getting towed behind, right? Is that's the image people see. When would you use one versus the other?
It's situational dependent sometimes too. I'm trying to think of different scenarios. We transport a lot in a TCV. If it's something bigger than it could be bigger than 15 pounds, we'll try to put in a single vent because we have to move it. Yeah. It's cheaper to replace the single vent than the TCV. I don't know about the guys in the truck that are pulling the single vent, but
sorry for those guys. Right?
Yeah, they drew the short straw, but.
And you're obviously taking less traveled routes to get to where you're going?
It depends. Sometimes we'll have an escort if we need to. We're not going to go lights and sirens at 80 miles an hour down with an artillery shell in the back. We'll usually convoy sometimes and have an escort of some vehicles that will close intersections when we're going through and just keep people away from us. So we can either get to a field or to our range or to a bunker somewhere safe where we can get away from people. So, and anything with like the military ordnance and stuff like that, we just don't pick it up and move it. We call the military and make sure that it is safe to move before we move it, because they might say, no, you got to keep it where it's at until we get there. And then they can come up and make a determination.
Or they Chinook it out of there.
Yeah. They should buy us a Chinook. I've been trying to get a Black Hawk. keep getting denied for that. I don't know why.
Can't have the Black Hawk, but we'll give you a Chinook. I'll settle on that. Yeah. Settle on that. What I guess kind of wrapping up here, let's see if we have any more online questions. No, I don't have any more online questions. Just kind of wrapping up, how about the kind of the subspecialty, the radiological, nuclear, chem, bio piece of this, because is all of that taught in your basic hazardous device?
There's kind of an advanced team that does out of the FBI office in Cleveland that has a couple bomb techs from the area on it. It's more advanced training for any type of WMD, so any type of chem bio, radiological, nuclear. It's more advanced training. It's a lot more advanced training. every couple months we're getting information from them. They're either coming up to us or we're going down there to train with them. And it's very interesting. The technology that they have out there is very interesting. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to be a part of that.
So that's kind of the regional response, and then I imagine
Yes.
there's a national component to that.
Yes, so what if
Everybody gets real interested real fast.
Yes.
If we're talking
So that
about
team is just kind of to go out and assess the initial situation, and we have things that we can talk back and have reach back to the national assets, and we can go out there to determine, hey, yeah, this is something that maybe we can handle, or hey, we need to get the national assets out here, and we can do a bunch of stuff to help them out and help them make their decisions, what they're going to bring and what they're going to do, and go from there. But yeah, if that happens, there'll be a lot of people there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of three-letter agencies there.
Exactly, in a hurry,
Yes.
too. Guys, anything else on your minds? I think we're running right kind of up to the end here. And I don't think we don't have anything more on out in the world, in the social media world.
I guess we'll just talk about, we have our website, obviously, so prehospitalparadigm.com is where you can get all the show notes
Show
for
notes.
this. You can see all the videos, the audio files. You can listen to this on your favorite podcast. We have education free out there as well for free Ohio EMS continuing education. So there'll be a free hour of EMS education out there for those of you that want on our website as well as all of our prior educations as well. And then we always forget to do our thank you to First Night and Cradle Point for allowing our...
Who's making all of this happen right now.
Yeah.
So,
So-
this entire thing is being streamed on FirstNet. Thanks to them. They're been a sponsor of the show since we started all the live stuff, and that's all being handled through a Cradle Point router. And thanks to them for providing that hardware to us, so we can bring this to you every month.
That's the only thing I got.
No, yeah, you're getting good at wrapping that up with the CE stuff, and then we're still on track, and we're getting traction made to getting CAPSI accredited education. So hopefully, we'll have that available sometime next year. Hopefully sooner than later next year, but no date on that quite yet. So.
And
All right.
please, if you have ideas and suggestions for future episodes, share them
Absolutely,
with us.
yep.
We're always looking for stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if there's something you're interested in, definitely send it to us. We'll definitely arrange a podcast on that. So the stuff we come up with.
Right, the stuff that interests us.
Yeah.
So, Brian, thanks for coming back
Sure.
and bringing
problem.
all the toys here and letting us play, and hopefully we don't meet this group in real time call out. But thank you all for watching and listening, and we'll catch you next time.